change our breath dramatically, just about every part of ourself can change pretty quickly, physically, mentally, emotionally. The shamanic breathwork has been the most powerful tool I have found. It gives you access to the unconscious. We say breathe until you're surprised. Things that come up, comes up to come out. Everything is music. It's sound, it's vibrations, it's color, it's breath. I think music is an attunement to the universe. Creativity is a healing process. Freeform dance, movement without rules, is essential for humanity's healing right now. There's been such a block on movement when we're westernizing and being more modern, and expression is kind of forbidden almost. To awaken the healer within, your own inner shaman, your own inner healer, your own inner guide. Is the best way to change your world is to change yourself. The most simple thing we do is breathe, and it's kind of the most basic thing we need for life. Look deeper, breathe deeply, and recognize yourself more.
Welcome, Levi.
Thank you.
Welcome to Visionary Voices.
Nice to be here.
The purpose of this show is to reconnect people, reconnect most of all creators, which we all are in a way, to their core, to their soul, awaken the responsibility in each of us to create the reality, our life, anything the way we truly want to. Tell us more about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Why do you do what you do?
What a beautiful intention. Well, I'm many things. I'm a breathwork facilitator, astrologer, and musician, DJ. Yeah, I do all those things to assist people in their awakening, their healing, their transformation, so they can be more themselves, with their souls here to be.
Let's first talk about breathwork. So I attended personally your shamanic breathwork. It just straight up guides you into your subconscious, where most of our blocks and limitations and traumas are held. Maybe you can break it down for us. What exactly is happening during breathwork, and why is it so powerful?
Sure. Well, first of all, there's many types of breathwork, and so I can't speak for all of them. There's a big range of what we're calling breathwork these days. The type I work with mainly is the laying down on the ground, conscious, connected breathwork. Primarily, the style I use is called shamanic breathwork. It was created by my teacher many years ago.
Why is it called shamanic?
Oh, it's a shamanic journey through the breath. We have a ceremonial component to the way we create the container. And with that safe and sacred container and the music that we use, chakra-attuned music, playlists, and the breathwork technique, a lot can happen. It's kind of like the most simple thing we do is breathe, and it's kind of the basis or most basic thing we need for life. And so therefore, when we change our breath dramatically, just about every part of ourself can change pretty quickly. And that can be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all this range, the spectrum of what can occur can and does.
Yeah, can you articulate the importance of breathwork?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we're always changing. There's this constant change in the world, in the universe, and in life. And when we change with it, when we participate in that change, it's a powerful thing. We can go into the parts of ourselves that are waiting to be, embraced or embodied.
Yeah, it's like going with the flow of life versus resisting it, and kind of surrendering to the flow and changes. And usually when we suffer, that's the biggest cause, that we resist change.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want to accept it, although it's
It's inevitable.
Yeah. So what lights you up? What are you most passionate about in life?
Oh, yeah, I've always kind of followed what I loved. And currently I'm most into music. I produce music, make beats, tracks, and I'm a musician. I play a little bit of everything. And most of all, I'm DJing. Primarily the ecstatic dance and conscious dance scenes. You can find me there. I've actually been touring the world the last couple of years, following what I love and DJing around the different ecstatic dance communities across the globe.
What is music to you?
Music is everything. I think that everything is music. It's sound, it's vibrations, it's color, it's breath. They're all kind of the same thing when you really get down really intricately. And so I think music is an attunement to the universe. It's like a playing with what already is. It's like all the elements of what we're made of, the whole world, this table is all sound. I really do feel that. And there are sounds everywhere in what we're making with music. We get to like co-create that and send out more vibrations and hopefully more harmony and flow and like an enjoyable experience of life. Because you can hear a loud screech and it kind of like makes you, tense up.
Yeah.
And likewise, you can hear a harp or something and it kind of soothes you right away. So I think there's really something clever about how the universe is sound and the way that humans are interacting.
Yeah, I mean, everything is frequency, everything is vibration. It's interesting you say everything is sound. What does music do to you, to your soul? How do you feel when you play music?
Well, it lights me up. I've always been a dancer since I was quite young, and my whole adult life I've been practicing and teaching. I used to compete with dance, and I found ecstatic dance a number of years ago, and that kind of shifted everything for me with the playfulness. So yeah, I think that dance and music are an essential part of life. Yeah.
I'm gonna dive deeper into that a bit later.
Okay.
Let's talk about ecstatic dance and your music production. What is your approach? What is your process of creating music that facilitates deep emotional and spiritual experiences and inner and outer journeys? Everyone just goes through their own journey while ecstatic dancing. Sometimes it's like an inner journey. Sometimes it's connecting to the whole collective consciousness. So what is your process? What is your approach to facilitate this depth, ignite something in people, like their soul?
Well, my approach to forming the music, say a playlist for an ecstatic dance experience, would be, it comes from me as a dancer. And, ecstatic dance originally comes from 5 rhythms, which is a different modality of dancing. And primarily there's a wave of intensity in the dance, in the music. And so it starts out, slow and ambient and builds and peaks and then drops down into ambient and soft again, sometimes a couple times. And so me as a dancer, I have always studied, by myself, listened to lots of music. I just love music of all kinds. If it's good, I like it and I collect it. I have a massive, massive collection of different types of music. And me as a dancer, I like to be surprised. I like to hear things that I haven't heard. And then like 1 or 2 that, I have heard, like a classic, But mostly ecstatic dance to me is a journey where I go to places that I haven't been yet. So me as a DJ, I try to not play the same song more than a couple times, if at all, twice, if at all. So every playlist is quite different and hopefully surprising to the dancer. So it's fun for me, it's fun for them.
Yeah.
I'm playing music I like and would want to dance to, and so hopefully they get that out of it. I also like to theme my dances as well. Like I've toured the whole world. It's amazing. There's ecstatic dance communities everywhere.
Nowadays, thank God, yeah.
It's everywhere, the whole world. So I'm super grateful to have had the experience to explore so many dances around the world, all with a little different kind of energy. Each dance is different, the people that come and all that. But for the location or the timing, like if I'm in a certain city, I like to pull up artists that are either from there or speaking that language, or and maybe a timing, maybe like a full moon or something. And it can kind of theme the energy of the dance astrologically as well.
Okay. How would you define creativity, and how is it connected to our inner self?
Yeah, creativity, that's a big question, actually. And I guess that's something that comes from within. And creativity to me is being open enough to the guidance of yourself or of the universe, whatever that is, that openness to just not think and do something out of personal inspiration. Maybe it's something you're getting from the room or from spirit or whatever, or maybe just from the feeling inside of yourself, and it just comes out in creation. So depending on what the medium is, I guess that doesn't matter as much. Creativity is kind of coming through you.
Yeah. Do you think it's important to create only bright and uplifting art, or do you think creativity, I mean, ultimately it's an expression of whatever is inside, right? But also there's a lot of dark music or art or movies. So
Absolutely. The full spectrum is necessary. I think art is in the eye of the beholder. And if somebody needs to get out their darkness into their art, then what a great way to do that. No, I think less judgment in creation, in art of all forms is a good way to look at things.
yeah.
Yeah, the dark and the light, the full spectrum. I think that's what creativity is.
Yeah. And art reflects our reality, our life, right? So it must include both in a way.
We all
Kind of
have both.
mirrors, our human experience as well. So whenever we see darkness in even art, we can learn from it. We can connect to it, parts of us.
Yes.
We can heal through it, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, if we don't face that part of ourselves, then there is no healing in that place. You got to face it, and art and creativity is a great way to do that. It's a healing process.
Yeah, also to open up some ways of expression when you can't express yourself in this moment through language or other ways.
Yeah, there's a wholeness that we're all seeking, and it's not all bright light and easy and happy. That part's great too, and some of us don't go there either, though mostly people are a little afraid of their dark parts, their animal parts, their, not so pretty parts, which are, to me, just as important.
How would you define this wholeness?
Yeah, that's a a fleeting experience for all of us, I think. You call it like a masculine and feminine balance, or a light and dark balance, or, you could look at it in several ways, but we're all seeking more of ourselves to become who we're here to be, to basically become who we really are already. So I think whether you go about it trying to become something that you're meant to be, or that you're unveiling what you really are, it's the same kind of process of finding the lost parts, finding the parts that aren't so obvious. And often those are the shadow. Often those are your gifts, the kind of the more extreme parts of your personal spectrum of who you are. We kind of expand our edges, hopefully, in life. And again, art is a great way to find who you are, express it.
Yeah. How do you do that? How do you find your lost parts?
Again, it's a journey. So, I'm doing my best through these things that I offer mostly, and much more. So yeah, currently it's that music journey, I think, and the dance journey that I've been on, the breath journey that I've been on, the astrology things, These are all just different modalities for finding out who I am. And I get the best clues by exploration.
Yeah, experimenting, exploring, trying, seeing where it goes.
Yeah. Exactly. Can't do the same thing always,
Yeah. What do you believe is the greatest untapped potential within us, within our human beings? And how can practices like shamanic breathwork and ecstatic dance help individuals to unlock their full potential, tap more into it, and maybe find their lost parts or something hidden, their shadows or gifts, whatever it may be?
Wow. Well, first of all, the shadow is said to be made of the good stuff, actually. It's actually where we find our greatest gifts. Because often what we suppress or shove aside is maybe things that we didn't want to shine. We didn't want to be seen that way, or get in somebody else's way, or whatever it might be. Or it was suppressed because of the parents told you it wasn't good, or the school, or something like that.
Right, some kind of past memory experience.
Absolutely. A lot of our adult life is spent, healing from our childhood. Yeah, a lot of our human potential, it rests in the unconscious parts of us. So it's just waiting to be tapped into. And, shamanic breathwork is kind of designed to go into our unconscious parts. In fact, when somebody breathes with us, often what they discover is something that they weren't going for. We say breathe until you're surprised. So when we do the breathwork process, often what comes up is something in the unconscious. It's like beneath the surface. So you can go in thinking you're going to work on something, and next moment you're in tears or laughter or
Mhm.
something unexpected.
Yeah.
Because we're quite good at hiding ourselves from ourselves. We're good at, I know I am good at, making up stuff and putting parts of myself aside and not always shining, Gotta figure out how to do that. So when we look at the things beneath the surface, then we find what we were afraid of. And when we're afraid of something, it's probably the good stuff. It's probably the
Really?
Yeah, I think that when you're nervous about something, for example, that can either, keep you down or it can be expressed through the talking, the singing, the dancing, whatever it is, can be the presentation. And that's what turns into the creative energy. It actually is creative energy. Like,
And either it's stuck, or either you find a way to release it.
Yeah. So you can feel the nervousness. It's actually your strength. It's actually the power that's about to come out if you let it.
So creative power is healing power. Even if this nervousness originates from a traumatic experience or some connected memory that brought this nervousness in the first place, and you're still holding on to it if you don't find a way to release it. Every time we encounter such a situation, it's a new chance for us to release it, express it.
Yeah. It wants to be let out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hard sometimes to do it consciously because obviously our consciousness, it's tricky. It's our own biggest block, I would say, in life.
Yeah, we're our own biggest block. Yeah.
Yeah. What role does astrology play in understanding and harnessing one's potential?
Oh, I think that's kind of what's built into the astrology chart is something I've been exploring since a teenager. It's this amazing clue on our path in life. We can find archetypes. We're all made of like different signs, different archetypes in astrology or not. We're made of archetypes. And it's kind of our own hero's journey to look at astrology in the way that I do. It has where you come from and why you're here and your relationship dynamics and your work and all that built into it. So we have this amazing gift, like a blueprint to our reality, or a map of our soul's journey written into this chart, just from when you were born. Where the planets were at the time of your first breath. And so looking at it, you can get a clue on where best to aim your energy, because we have advertisements on our phone, but more so we have like our family upbringing, our societal norms, and all these things, which our soul's purpose may or may not fit in that fully, usually not. And it can give you a clue on what would be most fulfilling to you in just about every aspect of life.
What would you recommend to anyone that never has tapped or looked into astrology? Where do we start?
Oh, where do we start? Well, finding a astrologer you trust, whether it's on the social media or actually getting an astrology reading from a person, can be very personal approach to tap into that. There's also many apps. I suggest the Pattern. It's built off the astrology that I use, which is kind of alternative. And I used to write for it. And it's a pretty useful tool.
Okay. What are the key components of inner transformation? What does it mean to you? What is it like made of? I don't know. What's the process? And maybe you can share personal experience where breathwork or ecstatic dance or music significantly transformed your life, or were like a moment of, big shift and, something
Absolutely.
happened.
Yeah. What has been significant in that? Well, inner transformation to me is when you're shifting from maybe who you thought you were to who you actually are. It's again that participation of what's already changing. It's getting out of your own way so that you can be yourself more. These kinds of themes often occur for an individual. Anyone has this process of unfolding in their life. And the best way, I feel, to change your world, which is changing, to support that, is by changing yourself. And closing your eyes or having a somatic experience or a breath experience, dance experience, is ways to get deeply in there, because it's more subtle than moving something across the room. It's
Yeah.
moving something inside of yourself, possibly something out of the way for the flow to come through, or building something inside of you to support what's, becoming. But it's very much an personal experience of what the story is. And I feel that these modalities we have access to these days, like the ones that I'm talking about and sharing, are keys to that transformation, are keys to support that shift. Some are much more powerful than others. I personally have had many big shifts. You can call them death and rebirths in life, inside, metaphorically. I think one of the first ones or biggest ones, the time period where I had the most transformation was in my early 20s. And I discovered yoga. I taught yoga for 15 years. I kind of still do. Not really, but I really taught it for 15 years and practiced for 20-something. And when I found it was from the breath. I was already a dancer, and my friend who I practiced with just read a book about yoga. He said, hey, close your eyes and breathe like this. And that moment where I went inward like that was the first time I was aware of what inward is, as opposed to outward. And when I took that first breath, a spark just went off. It was that moment that changed everything for me. I got really into yoga, and that kind of led my way to where I am now, and everything shifted.
What is your typical way nowadays to reconnect, to go inward?
Yeah, I still practice yoga each day.
Okay.
I don't teach it so much anymore, but I have a daily breathing practice.
Okay.
We call it pranayama.
In the morning or evening?
In the morning.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't do, the breath in the morning, then I'm not such a good person.
Really?
Yeah.
I relate to that though, yeah.
yeah. It's like my coffee. So yeah, I have yogic breathing practice in the morning. Yeah, and a kind of sitting meditation kind of thing. And it includes cacao. I like chocolate. And that practice of awakening the heart space and awakening the lungs and, clearing things out in the morning so that my day can flow easier.
Yeah, are you just more conscious throughout the day?
Yeah, more alert, more open, more clear.
From your experience, what are the most common barriers people face in their journey towards inner transformation, and how can they overcome it?
Yeah, themselves.
Yeah.
But to put it lighter.
Their minds? Or
Yeah. And the mind is a good way to say that. Thank you. And we have our own stories. Everyone has their own story. And and again, it's often built up through childhood. Birth even, traumatic experiences through life. For good reasons, we have our own walls and blocks, often protection. And opening up to feel that and heal that is often scary. So, the fear of what we're going to feel or what we're going to change, because often we'll lose relationships because we put up an act. We've put up our masks to be with certain people, such as our family, such as friends even. I know through my experiences along the way, I've lost a few good friends and things just because of change, just because I don't drink anymore and that kind of thing. It's like, we don't have that in common, so what do we have in common? And so naturally things fall away. And sometimes it's a little harder where that relationship falls away because of the change. And so all of these things are scary. They're hard to face. So we're quite good at hiding that part of ourselves for those kinds of reasons. So I'd say it's ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's not a blame, like something wrong with each person, but we all share that kind of, it's hard to face ourselves kind of thing.
Is it still hard for you?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, I think the more that I heal or transform, it gets kind of harder, the things are that I face. Because I think like when we're starting out maybe on a healing path, maybe the things are more obvious. I don't know, maybe they're huge, not to, take that away from anyone or from myself. When I started, it was the biggest stuff. But maybe I can find things that are more of a challenge, hidden deeper inside of me.
Right. You go deeper and deeper and deeper.
So it's more of a challenge to kind of face those more hidden parts. Yeah, so that continues to be a challenge for me and my teachers. I think that's normal. I think that's a good thing. That depth on the healing path is inevitable and what you want.
Yeah.
So I'll gladly admit that I'm still faced with the challenges within myself today.
Yeah, that's beautiful. One of my mentors, he's a monk in the monastery.
Yeah. What does he say?
He told me the more you embark on your spiritual path and search for the light within you and outside, the more darkness you will also see.
Absolutely.
Like the more light you'll see, the more darkness you'll see. Like it comes with it. And also like your ego is going to try to come in the way even more because it's just more extremes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, I think our greatest light is found in our darkness. Our greatest gifts are hidden in the unconscious. So we have to get dark to get light. It's both.
Yeah.
Both and.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to understand sometimes or accept, but if you look at the whole universe, there's always darkness and light, and it's equal.
Indeed.
That's the thing. We want more light in our life.
Yes.
But if you look around, it's always exactly equal. Like day, night, light and darkness, sun, moon. It's always these feminine, masculine. That's how our universe works, I guess.
Well said.
Yeah, maybe you can share what was your personal biggest block or limitation that you managed to overcome or still overcoming?
Oh, that's more personal, but I think it's quite hard for a lot of us. It was for me, drugs and alcohol was actually a huge limitation, challenge, and breakthrough for me when I stopped that. When I realized what a limitation it was. I grew up smoking lots of weed. It's kind of part of my culture. I grew up in Oregon, United States, West Coast. It's kind of, the culture thrives there. And my hometown's kind of a cloud of smoke. And we drink, and it's just normal stuff, kind of growing up that way. And
how did you realize that it was a limitation?
It was yoga.
Like when was
it was the breath. It was going inward. It's kind of like the clarity is easily, it's easy to see the clarity is blocked when I just looked, because looking outward my whole life and seeing my friends and family drinking, smoking, all that culture, it's normal. You just go and you grab, hey, and then, but going inward, just closing the eyes and taking a couple deep breaths, there's, wait a minute, this is kind of obscured and there's something more here. And, oh, wow, when I, admit it wasn't good for me and shifting to not doing that, the amount of clarity came from the cloud of smoke leaving. The amount of clarity that came, it's been what I've been writing since. It's like, oh, wow, there's so much here in life. And that's with ups and downs. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so much more, upward, and there's so much deeper. It's like this whole spectrum of life was more available for me. So that was that biggest transformation time. And I've had several big shifts, though that one was my biggest block, in at least, in the beginning.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about shamanic breathwork and ecstatic dance. I mean, you already kind of touched on these topics, but what are the spiritual and psychological benefits of shamanic breathwork, and how does breathwork facilitate the release of trauma and emotions or emotional blockages?
Sure, yeah. It's the most powerful tool I have found. Shamanic breathwork gives you access to the unconscious. It gives you access to these parts of yourself that want to come out. Yeah, shamanic breathwork has been the most powerful tool I have found to access the psychological parts and spiritual aspects to ourselves that are hidden. And as I say, it gives you access to the unconscious. Psychologically, we can hold on to a thought or believe something that isn't true for a really long time, often our whole life. And again, we might even build up our life, and often do, around these lies.
Based on a lie.
Yeah, which again, it's not like there's something wrong with you. It's just like I'm really good at lying to myself.
Of course. It's our comfort zone. We want to stay there.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we make up these stories that work for our ego at the time, and then at some point they don't. And shamanic breathwork gives us access, direct access, like quick transformation, quick realization. It just kind of hits you.
How exactly does it happen? Maybe walk us through the process really quickly. So, okay,
Well,
we lay down.
Yeah. It's
We-
magic, first of all.
We start breathing.
Yeah.
Walk us through it really quickly. First of all, we breathe in a
So,
rhythm
yeah,
different than usual.
absolutely. We're shifting our breath dramatically, actually. In our daily breath, our normal breath right now, there's like a normal pause, a moment between the exhale and the inhale, where we're just breathing at a natural pace, and it's beautiful. And in yoga, we extend that. We try to slow it down and create more of a pause, hold our breath, basically. There's of course scientific versions of the story that I don't want to get too far into that are important. You know, we're getting flooded with oxygen, hypooxygenating the cells in our body, gives us more carbon dioxide, makes us more meditative, shanti, peaceful. And in shamanic breathwork, holotropic breathwork, rebirthing, this whole conscious connected breathwork realm of work, is lying down, breathing circular. It floods our cells with oxygen and activates our unconscious. So we lay down, breathe in a circle, and in this case, we have a beautiful playlist of music that kind of stirs up different body parts.
Why is that?
Again, sound. Everything is sound.
So is the
Everything
music in a specific frequency or
It's
specific activating? I don't know.
Sure. We choose the playlist very carefully, and it kind of stirs up the energy field from root to crown. It's a bunch of cool songs that stir up different parts of the body because of the vibration. We're not doing like a certain hertz or 432, that kind of thing, but more just how it feels in the body. So it's more practical. And it's a total journey from start to finish. We go in like a ceremony with like a drum, like the raw hand drum, like any shamanic journey. We go into the music and we breathe a certain way, circular. And then, the music starts out really driving and kind of chaotic and, pulsing. And then it gets more danceable. And then it becomes really interesting, almost like you're in a movie, like going somewhere like a hero. And then it kind of opens up into like kind of vast music like piano or flute or something. And it kind of feels more spacious until it kind of goes into kind of ambient, tranquil sounds at the end. So it really does kind of move through the chakras, moves through the body. And we end with a drum beat again and some like songs to come back to, because we can get pretty altered. The state of consciousness is altered through shamanic breathwork. That's what it's built for. It's in these altered states of consciousness that we access the unconscious or the spirit realm or the place inside of our body or emotions that don't feel safe on the day-to-day or the this level of consciousness. We won't let ourselves go there unless we're in the like dream space or the shamanic space. That's the process of shamanic breathwork. The only thing I want to add is that at the end of the journey, one of the most important components is the processing. And a lot of breathworks, you just breathe. That's the end of class. But actually focusing on the meaning, letting the psyche unfold a little bit or realize what's changed.
Yeah, the integration. Whatever was experienced.
Yeah, is, I think, even more important than the breathing. The breath work takes you to an experience, emotionally or spiritually, whatever. And that experience, I think, it's important to process it and integrate it, embody it as much as you can. And that would be the reason for the breath work, meaning.
Yeah. Why is every breathwork journey different each time you do it? Why is it sometimes so easy to surrender and just go really far in depth in whatever direction you need to go?
Shamanic breathwork is different for each person, and it's different each time. And that's because, again, we're looking at what's beneath the surface. What's beneath the surface, it's not something we're probably looking at when we walk into the space. mean, maybe sometimes we are. We're just ready for a big release and we know
Yeah.
exactly what we're getting into. And other times we're just going about our day. We decided to do this journey. We're not really sure why. And boom, big surprise.
Ironically,
Yeah.
for me, when I least expected, and I don't
Yes.
even, I'm just randomly kind of stumbling into the experience,
Yes.
then it fully hits me because
Yes.
I'm just so relaxed. But when I want a big transformation happen, I want it so much that somehow I think this gets in the way, this tension or this
I agree.
buildup of expectation almost,
Yeah.
or trying to recreate a past journey or depth of journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can get in our own way in either direction. We can want something so bad. We can want it so bad that we're putting too much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
So our mind's stuck on an outcome.
So how do we get away from this pressure?
Yeah, a great way to start breath work is in relaxation, and we're really allowing ourselves more than anything else to access like a dream space. It's almost like lucid dreaming. It's kind of the same place, similar at least, as the shamanic realm. I think these are all a similar place in our consciousness. And if we're thinking about what we're doing so much, meditation's not going to happen.
You're not
just
gonna
sit there
get
and
past
think.
the conscious. Yeah.
So it's a subtle realm. It's a place that you find when you go beneath all those thoughts and all the pressure. And so we can get in our own way like that, as well as not trying hard enough. You can kind of dissociate. You can fall asleep and kind of, you can't really fall asleep with pounding music and people making a lot of noise around you, but in a way you drift away from the experience. You kind of block it. That's what we do with alcohol a lot of times, drugs. We kind of numb the experience that's actually there.
Yeah. Oh, it's painful to feel.
Yeah.
Most of the time. That's why it's so much easier to just numb.
Yeah. It's fun,
But it's not a way. We're just numbing it. It's going to come up even stronger and more angry. Because we didn't deal with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So from your position, from the facilitator's position, what is the key to providing this? I mean, it's a given. It must be a safe place for everyone to, enable this emotional release for so many people. How do you do it? Like, what's the key of providing this safe energy, this safe space?
Well, you said it. The key is helping people feel safe. We say safety first, transformation second. When a person is able to feel safe, relax, know that they can't be harmed, that it's a safe place to be, then they'll often drop their guard, the guard against themselves, in order to access the things that need to come up. You see that, things that come up, whatever comes up for healing. It comes up to come out.
Yeah.
And so I just do my best to make sure everyone feels welcome, because I really honestly appreciate that people do work that way, that they do their inner work through things like breath work. When a soul shows up to an experience that I'm offering, I am grateful for that they're doing their work in their world to change it, to make it a better place, because they're doing it inside. The best way to change your world is to change yourself again. So I appreciate them, and I want them to feel welcome, invited, and know that I'm there to support their own work. Because essentially with all healing modalities, in my opinion, the shaman or the healer or, teacher, space holder isn't doing the healing. It's actually the individual doing the healing. And the space holder is doing just that, holding the space for that to occur. And of course, we do powerful things to provide support in that, such as creating a safe container.
Yeah.
And so just let them know that. I'd like people to know that they're here to, when they show up, I'm not doing anything to them, and that they're actually here to do their own work. And I appreciate that, welcome that, and want to support that in any way I can. And this is how I suggest doing it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's activating our own, the process is activating our own healing process.
Yeah, absolutely.
I intelligence think in a way.
Exactly. Shamanic breathwork is, shaped, formed. It's created to awaken the healer within. your own inner shaman, your own inner healer,
Yeah.
your own inner guide. It's all there if we pay attention, if we listen, you know.
How do you see the significance of ecstatic dance? Like the importance of it?
Yeah, I think that freeform dance, movement without rules, is essential for humanity's healing right now. There's been such a block on movement, being in blissful states physically. It's not a normal thing you'd find anywhere in culture. Well, originally you would find all across the world, you'll find ecstatic ways of moving. We find it around the fire and the drums with Africa. We find it in Latin culture. You dance after your meals. It's very normalized in most cultures throughout history. But when we're westernizing and being more modern, it's quite rigid physically. You know, we're all buttoned up and meant to move a certain way, and expression is kind of forbidden almost.
Yeah.
And so I think it's super freeing to so many people to be able to move intuitively and find expression and interesting ways to move that feel like something they've never done before. You know, do things they've never done before and have that be welcomed. I think that that's shaping our, our conscious world, the world where people are doing their healing, those places that people are doing that stuff. And it's found in almost every city. It's almost like an alternative culture to the norm. You have like the day-to-day outside, and then you go all over the world. They're going in these churches, these community centers, these gyms once a week, once a month. And there's this whole group of people, it's the yogis and the tantrikas and shamanic people and the healers and all the weirdos that I think is good, finding each other and themselves in a sacred space on a regular basis. And I think that's freeing up not only spaces within themselves, but within culture. So I think that it's an essential gift that we're giving ourselves to have space to roam freely, just enjoy music from everywhere, all kinds. Not a specific version where you're cool because you're at this party or this club.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the way, like alcohol, which is great, but it's not in the way in these places. And so people are again doing work as well, finding the space inside of them through movement without any numbing agent, any lubricant, social lubricant. And that's, that's like scary work to dance freely in front of someone. And I've seen so many people, come to ecstatic dance and just have this huge breakthrough, if not the first time, slowly over time. And they just become like so much more like expressive.
Yeah.
Just more relaxed, more free in themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful healing journey.
Learning how to express your uniqueness
Yes.
and fully tap into your uniqueness.
Yes.
First of all, it can be
Yes.
scary
Yes.
to discover the weird sides in you that are usually very familiar to you, but you haven't really showed them to society or to your environment. And then once you do that, there's so much freedom in it to express especially the most weird, unique, edgy sides of you. And by doing that, you're setting a role model and simultaneously giving freedom to everyone around you to do the same, to tap into their uniqueness. And so everyone's just being unique and weird.
Exactly.
Weird in the best way possible,
Isn't that great? Again, it's that change yourself is changing your world.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's essential nowadays. Yeah. Dance is crucial. Must
it is.
dance.
Give us 3 reasons why people should dance more.
It's healthy on every level. It's not just like you're breathing a lot and sweating a lot, which is fantastic, but it's also freeing up space in your mind and your energy field. And often we can express emotions there. So it's kind of like on every level, really healthy and releasing. And another reason is community. I think that a lot of community is built. One of the main components, whether it's said or not, or known or not, by the community, it builds it. It builds it. I've watched so many locations around the world. It's like where I can go no matter what basically nomadic the last couple of years. And I've been to probably more ecstatic dance communities than almost anyone. We all have this commonality of being kind of more tribal in their city or town by meeting up regularly and being the weirdos together. And it actually builds a sense of community or tribe. That's huge for people to get back to, because we have our own flats, our own houses with fences and all these, we're quite separate more than we used to be. Like in Bali, the family lives together their whole life and very happily.
Everyone says we humans are not meant to live in cities, in these concrete walls and building our own cages, basically. It's so unnatural. And it's growing tremendously, the walls and blocks, building up in especially cities.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's community building, and it's really healing on just about every level. And I think people need to have fun, I guess, that would be the third, like just fun, like listening to music and dancing without shoes on, without phones, without alcohol.
Oh, it brings so much joy.
Yeah. And we don't find places like that very often or ever. So just like a fun gathering without anything involved,
Yeah, and be fully present.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like actually remember everything.
Yeah.
And
you don't
feel
wake up
everything.
and your head doesn't hurt,
Right.
Yeah.
What are the most profound lessons you have learned through your work with breathwork, dance, music, and astrology?
Wow. I think all of them. I feel a theme running through this whole conversation of like being yourself or being who you're meant to be. And I feel that these practices, these modalities that I have found so much depth in, is really me finding more and more who I am, or who I really am. And again, that's a challenge to unveil more and more of it. So some of the most profound moments in my life are realization of a part of me that's not true, or a part of me that is. And I have found those through these teachings and through these practices. Yeah.
Which are doorways in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's a good way to put it.
Keys or tools. Yeah.
Yeah. The modalities are like keys or like tools, clues. They provide clues on who you are. And that's been my experience anyways. And my experience of watching others transform in front of me. And when I mean transform, again, you could just say unveiling who they really are. It's like the transformation of who you are becoming, like a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's like we might not even realize what we're here to become, or what we're becoming. I've felt these moments of untruth, like a shedding a layer.
Yeah.
A snake shedding its skin, something like that, to unveil its new colors. And these things like breath work or dance or astrology, they're these things that, and yoga, the list goes on. If done regularly, often as is needed at least, then that's really what's happening. And I'm falling into these places, even the bad times, even the hard times, the more challenging moments in my life, like after a breakup of a woman, or finding out something about someone, or something on the news, whatever. Having a harder experience, I know that I can go to these same places, feeling great or feeling crappy, happy or crappy, doesn't matter. I can show up to dance and move through it. Yeah. I can show up on the breathwork floor and breathe through it. And that's a transformation from the inside out. It's an acceptance of what's really going on, acceptance of who I am. And I've found that so many times in a breathwork journey or in a dance journey, both as a participant and even as a facilitator. It's kind of part of the journey sometimes. I'm in it too. So it's both.
Yeah. Did you ever spot a difference between the vision of who you want to be and who you truly are? And how is it connecting? Because a lot of times we try to follow our higher vision, right? We try to be the best self. So we try to find out what is our mission and like the best self that we can be. And then oftentimes it doesn't really match the reality of where we are currently. So how does it play out for you?
Yeah, I think it's a fluctuating roof of, being at the top of my game or becoming who I'm meant to be and like, woohoo,
Right.
and also falling down.
Yeah.
and being like, oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
Back up a little bit. So it's a fluctuation of ego, and which is not a bad word for me. I think ego is intended. It's part of it.
Yeah.
But too much, it's like, oh,
yeah.
So it's a beautiful process of becoming and unbecoming and all of that. And I've had many, several moments of being on top, being, expansion. And then I've had many moments of depth and kind of falling down. And I think that's an essential part of anyone's path in honesty, at least from my experience or from observation. I think that everybody has their ups and downs, and I think that's important to notice and regulate, accept. And so I know that it's part of the process, as hard as that is. There are times where I have to kind of go and hibernate, a little bit. And there are other times to fly high.
Yeah.
And again, participating in that change is the key, I've felt, in in acceptance and embodiment and being what's real, which is hard.
Yeah. How do you usually connect to your truth and to also to your creativity?
Sure.
When are you most creative, and what do you do when you feel stuck or blocked in your creativity or flow of life?
Well, I have my practices in the morning from day to day, and then being an astrologer is kind of a gift and a curse, like, because I'll know which cycles of time I'm in.
Yeah,
because it's a funny. There's seasons of life, and there are cycles of life. Certain times are better for launching your new podcast and getting yourself out, and other times are better to, like I said, hibernate or work on family stuff or relationship stuff. There are times when that's more suited.
Yeah.
So knowing that I'm in a phase is quite helpful. It doesn't make it easier so much. I just kind of know I have to go through this and trust. But it does. These things that I'm sharing today, and I keep going back to, I kind of feel like going in a circle here, that breathwork, dance, music, yoga, have been my keys to accessing what's next. And getting through blocks or finding the blocks in the first place and all that. And that's why I share them. I share what's true for me or what's been most powerful for me. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't get so into it. And that's why I do get into it, because it works so well personally. And so I offer it to others, and most of the time it works for them too.
Yeah.
Just about always. It can even be more powerful. It depends where the person's at. But that's where I find where I'm at. Breathing, stretching, dancing, looking at the chart, analyzing it. There's just different aspects or different ways of going about it.
Yeah, beautiful. Tools to process your emotions and letting them flow through you, and also for your mind to calm down, to understand logically also what's happening, and make sense of reality in a way.
Absolutely. I'll sit on the mat in the morning, do my little breathing, drink my little cacao, and on some phases I'll be crying.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's important to feel the grief or sadness. And other days I'll be like so happy and blissed out. And I think it's important to create space for an individual to fully feel. And that's what I try to provide in my dance journeys and breathing journeys. It's like, let's just be more of the spectrum of who we are. And that's how I find it.
Yeah. Experience the whole spectrum of life and our human
life,
being.
Humanness.
Yeah. Beautiful. Really quickly, let's talk about the future of these practices of yoga, of ecstatic dance. How do you envision the future of these practices in the context of riding this new wave of currently global awakening again a little bit?
Yeah. One of my original yoga teachers, a few yoga teachers, have said that breathwork, pranayama is the wave of the future. It's the yoga of the future, and we're seeing that now. So that was prophesized by several yogis, that we're going to get more aware of breathing as opposed to stretching. And that's occurring now. Breathwork a few years ago wasn't that popular, like several years ago, not that many. It was less popular than now. Now, there's a billion, a lot of breathwork facilitators out there, and there's all these breathworks that are being created, all these brands, all this stuff. And for me, that's great. It's like it's a mark of the time that we're at the place in which we understand or know that, inside of the yoga stretching, we're just breathing. Inside of kind of any kind of movement, we're just breathing. And I think that that's accessing our consciousness, finding the clarity of mind and the clarity of feelings and the clarity of who we are more through breathing is a huge component in raising human consciousness. And the best way to change the world is to change ourselves. So as we're all doing this breathwork practice all over now, it's amplifying our collective consciousness. It's growing that. It's amplifying what we know about ourselves as a whole. And simultaneously, ecstatic dance, conscious dance, substance-free dance has been expanding for about the same amount of time. Yeah. It's this turning of the ages that we're in. It's this time period that's shifting from the way humanity was to what it's becoming, that is our lifetime. And it's fascinating to witness that and be a part of that. And it's people like you and people like us that are doing this inner work that is creating the kind of like next level of consciousness, you could say. And I think it's a slow process, actually, but quick when you look at it as history. It's a small period of time, like our lifetime only, in which is shifting so much, and so much trauma is being healed. And so many people are saying, no, I'm not doing this thing my family's been doing for so long. Yes. Or my culture is not working in this way. I'm going to do it different. And we're like empowered and aware enough. And we have the privilege really to shift in those ways. And it's these practices that are assisting it. Absolutely. Yeah.
What is your ultimate goal or your ultimate vision for your work? And how do you hope to contribute to the evolution of human potential and the raise of consciousness?
Just doing my part to offer, to find, seek, find, and offer what is most helpful. I said the breathing practice that I offer is the most powerful thing I've found for, rapid transformation, deep healing, really going there. The dance that I offer, it's the most accessible and, to freedom that I found. So
liberating.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I just hope to continue to find it if there's something better, or keep, offering what I do for humanity's evolution.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What values do you live by?
Oh, values. Big question. I mean, my values consist of the right and ability to be who you are. And so I think that every personality on the spectrum should be welcome. So the idea of acceptance of an individual, like the astrology that I've dove into and share, it's given me like the objective perspective. When I sit with an individual in their chart, I'm looking at their soul. I'm not looking at their mask. And I can see where they're at on their journey. And I just love to see people as they are, like really are. And so I think that's valuable, is to give people the freedom to and clues to be who they are. And so anything I can do to support others on their journey, I think is most valuable to me. And likewise, I want that space too. And so again, I'm trying to change the world by doing it myself, by changing myself. And so I'd like the freedom, to cry when I want to, or yell when I want to, or hug someone, and not have the limits of what we've created as restriction, as norms. And so the freedom to be who you are.
Beautiful. What would you say to anyone on this world if absolutely everyone would be listening to you right now?
Oh, whoa.
Any reminder, any advice, anything that can reconnect them in some way?
Look deeper, breathe deeply, and recognize yourself more.
That's powerful.
I think just, asking yourself that or doing just that can go a long way, and people can find their own way to do that. And there's lots and lots of ways to uncover and discover.
Yeah. What would your question to the next guest be?
My question would be, what's in the way of your next best you or the next big thing? Yeah. I hope that doesn't stump them or be too personal. But it'd be cool if the person can be vulnerable enough to show what they're going to get through next.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
pleasure.
being here. Thank you for sharing
Thanks
your
for having me.
personal lessons, your professional lessons, overall life wisdoms.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.